Curse of Strahd start music. All right. I don't know if dice rolling is going to be needed this session. So I guess we'll say for a fanspo to be gifted to the game of your choice. Does anybody want to give me a recap of what happened last session? Anybody? If you are interested, go ahead and roll a d20 into chat. Otherwise, I'll try my best to sum up what happened last time.
Make Crash do it.
Yeah,
Make
that's
me
what
do it.
That's what I was thinking.
All right. Let's see. It would be easier if I could look at the map with my eyeballs to see what's going on.
Oh, you sir.
All right. It was sort of a blur, you know what I mean?
Didn't think it would be done.
This incredible map. It's an incredible map. It's definitely something I want to talk about in the post-mort is the maps for the campaign. It's definitely something I want to discuss if there's time. All right. So, let's see. Last session we opened up in the northwest corner of the crypts. The party had just freed Darius from the clutches of the ancient Therosian, I think that's what it's Therosian, Dracolich, Tarachamedes. Some bargaining was done on behalf of the Fanes, now that their power had been restored via the breaking of the binding of Strahd to the land. They had a bit more agency over who could come and go from those lands, similar to the planeswalking Vistani. So technically they could have let everybody leave, and you wouldn't have had to do this at all, but they, that's not important to this recap. Anna, who had been left behind, / betrayed / forgotten by the party innumerable times, because of her core nature of being a caregiver, of being a mother figure, of being of desiring to be good despite not really knowing how, in the end chose her friends over the throne, over life, essentially. She took the Philosopher's Stone built for her by Baba Lysaga with a keyed dimension door spell infused in it, and gave it to the two frontline beefsters, men who have come all the way from modern world Seattle and have died, been dismembered, been burned, been mutilated, and been emotionally broken down into the smallest pieces. Truly, it was kind of an iconic move to pick the two characters that have somehow endured from the very beginning to go on a suicide mission. They used the stone to dimension door away from the party into an area that, let's be real, there was very little chance anyone was going to be able to help them. The room in which they appeared had no less than 5 vampire spawn in it, 2 of which were high-level divine casters. And, of course, Baba Lysaga, one of the strongest NPCs of the campaign, and a powerful wizardess in her own right. And then Strahd von Zarovich, asleep in his very fancy, very reinforced coffin. So when that happened, I kind of thought, like, oh, wow, Anna's really going for it. She really believes in these guys. But then part of me wondered, is Anna secretly on the bad guys team? Because, like, how are they going to win? They got rid of Tarachamedes. Then they send 2 regular ass dudes to fight all the final room boss by themselves. they split the party. Now they got to deal with these bosses on the loose. Instead of doing like a standard work together boss rush, one after the other, grind their way to the finish line, they decided to fucking split up everybody. And I looked at my prepared speech about, well, you played for 2 years and you had a TPK in the last session. Let's talk about how to move forward. And I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to read this today. And then that, yeah. So that, but that didn't happen. That didn't happen. It actually went really, really well. The remnants of Daniel controlling the ancient evil elemental Zrenhala had dropped what might have been the greatest ice storm in the history of Dungeons and Dragons, completely bisecting the dungeon and preventing reinforcements from going to help Strahd, and sort of keeping all of the northernmost bosses focused on the northernmost team, trapping the center bosses in an endless cycle of falling down and crawling through ice. One man, Shane Masters, he made it through the storm thanks to Zrenhala's thunderstepping ability, and he went to aid his allies. Baba Lysaga, no slouch, used everyone's favorite spell, Wall of Stone, to block off the entrance to the tomb and prevent those deadly ass gunshots, crits on a 17 or higher, 16 or higher. Had to get that shit out of the way. But Shane was not without his own troubles, and he even found and borrowed some additional troubles. Out in the open, this delicious revenant became the target of so many monsters that were not engaged with anyone else, and that kept him pretty occupied. When he was starting to run out, he opened up a crypt to get himself 3 more, because that's the kind of man he is. He just chains those kills together. It's like a Fable 1 character and a guy shouting, "You got to get your combat multiplier even higher." And he's running around looking for more people to shoot. So that was going on. To the north, Anna was left alone to deal with Anastasia Karlova, a brainwashed ? Eastmark, and the deadly Minotaur horror Rossarin, who we have seen in combat before, just downs people. He just downs people. He is also a crit machine with a slightly lower threshold, but when he lands them, it's pretty bad. He did end the life of Anna Anderson, Queen of Barovia. And there, I don't think there was really any walking it back from there. Down below, Tiernan and Darius pulled out every item, everything that they had found in the campaign. The Amulet of Ravenkind, everything from all of the A5e books, everything. In the end, it was, I think, the refusal of the vampiric druid to assist Baba Lysaga that really kind of turned the thing around. He threw down a wall of thorns that, while damaging to Strahd's enemies, was also detrimental to all of Baba Lysaga's efforts. So in the end, Barnaby Vampire Archdruid managed to stick it to Team Strahd right before the end. The coffin was smashed open. The stake created from the haft of the Blood Spear of Gavan was hammered through his reinforced sternum into his small black heart, and right out the other side through the back of the coffin and into the grave dirt beneath. Upon Strahd's demise, centuries, if not millennia, of built up energy a desperate force of good that had been restrained and stopped for so long, a balance craved by the multiverse, was allowed to happen. And so through his death and through the breaking of his curse came a wash of radiant energy. And for those of a more evil persuasion, it brought death and oblivion. So as it washed out, killing and destroying the many fiends and enemies that the party had faced, we had to ask what little remained of Daniel Harwood, if he deserved to live. And in the end, there wasn't really enough left of Daniel, or what was left of Daniel had stopped believing in Daniel. But along with Zrinhala, Daniel was destroyed. The fate of Anna Anderson, obviously very meta, but it seems that in death, her spirit chose to linger here as a ghost, but was approached by the renewed and restored abbot of the Abbey of St. Markovia, who offered her a chance at a new life, a do-over, as it were, a reincarnation, which she took. Shane was also given such a chance, for he too, in death, had chosen to sort of linger, guard, and protect the people of Krezk. But his sacrifice of that tremendously powerful relic of good that was discarded in a shadowy corner of Castle Ravenloft, a powerful artifact, possibly the most powerful artifact you could find in the campaign, was freely gifted to the corrupted and very dangerous abbot. And over time, the emanations of good, the aura that artifact gave off, was enough to calm the abbot's crazed and insane mind and give it a chance to sort of work towards redemption. And it wanted to give Shane his just rewards for doing that. Originally, the intention was to kill Shane, to end him utterly, to grant him the gift of oblivion, thus freeing him from his bond to Shami Amore, the Queen of Succubi from the Amber Temple. But the purifying wave of radiant energy let loose by the breaking of the curse was enough to sever that connection on its own. And so Shane, kept alive by his revenant's curse, the oath he made to the silver dragon Argynvost, was freed from one binding, but then found himself in another. Because of his heroics, because of his sacrifice, Argynvost did release Shane's soul from its eternal service, which gave the abbot an opportunity to reward Shane for everything that he had done. And I think that's everything that happened last time, more or less. We said we were going to continue to see what happened to the general cleanup of those who were left alive, because there is sort of a mess that needs taken care of. There is the issue of what happened to Irenia Kolyana. What about the remains of Mackenzie? Where are they going to go from here? Is Darius going to return home? We're going to find out. So that's what happened last time. Sweet. All right. Then I guess we'll just get started. I'll take everybody over to this map. And we'll go ahead and add a camera bat. There we go. activate. Let's get some music. Mm-hmm. All right. Tiernan, Darius, Camerabat, you find yourselves
The
alone.
three main characters of Curse.
You find well, I'd say Camerabat definitely the main character, but
Yeah.
you find yourselves alone in the dark, in the crypts below Castle Ravenloft.
It seemed Darius had asked if this is over. I think Tiernan had replied that it is. I think Darius is still a bit on edge, just because of the nature of this place. So, I mean, I'm not gonna particularly roll dice, but I think he's just kind of like still in a bit of a fighting stance, just listening to signs for anything else that wants to pop up. And I mean, for bonus action, he's just kind of healing up from his wounds a little bit, just in case.
Right.
Is the portcullis still in the way?
Yeah, but there's a handle over here.
Oh yeah. I suppose first thing I do is pull the lever.
Having to pull the lever for the portcullis after everything that you guys went through has the same energy as Patrick having to lower SpongeBob down from the rope rig at the end of the SpongeBob movie when he does the Goofy Goobers music video. It has that same energy. Yeah. All right. So you walk over, you pull the lever, the doors go up.
We step out there and get teleported. I'm gonna be really mad.
I know, right?
I mean, that would actually be kind of dope if you did, because then you could at least see the remains of the dead boy. But I think we had Shane walk up and disappear here, so you know at least know there's no teleporter there.
I got walls in the way.
Oh yeah, that's because the portcullis is down. Let's see. There you go.
This one we said was Mad Dogs.
I think so.
Yeah.
And the Sun Sword is a relic of the Morning Lord also, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, I want to grab that so that I can give it to the
so about that, Anna, did you leave a note there when you moved the sword, or
No.
no? Okay.
Suckers.
I figured.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have been that easy.
Yeah. So yeah, when you look in the tomb of the Mad Dog, you smell the brimstone of the dead and I guess banished hellhounds. But as you look around, you do not find anything else of interest.
Well, it was worth a shot.
So I know a hell of a lot happened in like the last hour or so that I've been back. I wasn't crazy. That was one of the Marnikov kids that was by us, right?
I think so.
What the fuck
Yeah,
are they doing here?
the father of the Marnikovs said that both boys were taken by Rahadin, and that his wife was killed trying to stop Rahadin from taking the boys.
Yeah, Darius knows none of this.
Yeah.
So he's like, what the fuck are they doing here?
Yeah, maybe Tiernan just catch him up real quick.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
meta catch him up.
All right, Darius. Here's what's been going on.
All right, I'll advance the clock 20 minutes. Okay.
Within that time, I'll take a short rest.
All right.
Nice.
All right. Do you just want the hit list here from the crypts, or do you want a full tour? I mean, do you just want what is your goal here?
Yeah. Give us the tour, I guess.
Okay, so you walk quietly and cautiously through the crypts. Okay. I will read off some of the epitaphs in case you find them interesting. Let's see. This one right here is labeled Gralmore Nimblenobs, Wizard Ordinaire. This one right here is labeled. This one is unlabeled. Okay. This one over here says Sir Jarwald the Trickster. The joke was on him. And you can smell a carnal stench even through the heavy stone door. Alright. This one right here was General Kroval, Mad Dog Grizzlek, Master of the Hunt, a leader of hounds and men. This right here is labeled Basuphilis, the Wonder Horse. May the flowers grow ever brighter where he trods. And it smells heavily of brimstone and horse. You tell me if you want to open any of them, otherwise you're just reading the things as you go. There's just two of you and you're pretty beat to shit, so I don't know if you actually want to risk opening any of them.
Good.
Curse broken or not. This is Tatsal Eris, last of the line. And you can see faint firelight shining under the cracks, the crack of the door. Alright, up here you've got King Dostran the Hellborn. Tiernan, the Seeker part of you, knows that King Dostran the Hellborn is the one that Kavan rallied everyone to destroy, but then like a Conan novel basically like took over his place when he was done. Apparently they went and collected this dude's body to put in the crypt. Alright, this one right here is Sir Klutz Tripolatsky. He fell on his own sword. Apparently it was a joke character from an earlier attempt against Strahd, and Strahd thought he was hilarious, so he gave him a place of honor after death. You've got Equipped 32. It is unlabeled. You've got Crypt 31. We knew him only by his wealth, is what the door says. This one over here says Prefect Cyril Romulich, beloved of King Barav and Queen Ravenovia, High Priest of the Most Holy Order. Let's see. Over here, tucked in the corner, is Ivan Ivaloskovich, champion of winter dog racing. The race may go to the swift, but vengeance is for the loser's relatives. That's what it says. 25 is Stefan Gregorovich, first counselor to King Berov von Tsarevich. This one has one scared, lonely giant wolf spider in it. It hides from you in the shadows. Alright, this one says Pascal Offenheis, Chef Deluxe. This one right here says Baron Iceglaze Droof. And there is an intense and unnatural cold that emanates from the other side of the door. You guys may have encountered a similar cold before in the basement of the winery.
Oh, that.
All right. Over here, let's see. It says Patrina Velikovna, bride. And you may recall that Patrina was the sister of Casimir that he made great sacrifices to bring back to life, who then died horribly shortly thereafter. As is the nature of this horrible game. This one is Sir Eric Vonderbucks. And it says nothing else about him. This right here says Anna Anderson, Queen of Barovia.
Is it closed?
Yeah, it's closed.
Darius will open the door for that one,
Okay.
just in case.
All
Because as we've been going along, Darius is also kind of calling out for the rest of the party to see where they are.
Mm.
But doesn't seem to be getting
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. Anna, does your ghost make a sort of final appearance here before Darius?
Nope.
Nope. All right. Then you find the chamber empty.
Fuck, shit here.
All right. This one up here. Oh, there is this ominous 20-foot wide passage with a 15-foot high ceiling that leads to stairs that lead down to two statues that are making a wall of radiant and energy that seems to prevent passage further in to a large, ornate, open crypt.
Is it opaque? Is it translucent, transparent? This wall?
It has big force field energy, so you could sort of see through it. As you approach, what remaining hairs on your arms begin to sort of prick up at the energy that is being given off.
Hey, Tiernan, what do you think this is?
No idea.
Doesn't that look like one of those sci-fi walls or whatever?
Yes, the flavor text is wide steps descend to a landing flanked by two alcoves. Within each alcove, taking up, it gets even taller as it goes further down. Taking up the full 30-foot height of the ceiling, our bronze statue of a warrior holding a spear. A soft blue curtain of light flows between the two alcoves, dimly visible on the other side of the curtain are more descending stairs.
Before we try this out, I was thinking about opening that one that doesn't have a label on it, and then the one that was for that high priest.
Sure, that works. You may want to step back. You look kind of fucked up, man.
Oh yeah. For sure.
I guess we had gone back to open those two.
Okay, so
Okay.
you guys are gonna go back to open them.
Yeah, I'm gonna open the blank one that
I
was
mean,
down
you
here.
guys can die in this this post session. Just saying, like
Oh,
this,
I'm
like
hoping that any
okay,
terrible, horrible creatures were killed by the thing.
sure. All right. So which one was it that you were gonna go back to?
The blank one, and
The
then the one
blank
that was.
one.
Yeah, you said there was one that didn't have a name on it.
Yeah. All right. This one right here. Okay. As you open the door with your muscles, the crypt is empty except for 2 alcoves in the back. So, basically, there's a 5 foot by 10 foot, and then there's 2 5 foot by 5 foot alcoves at the back. Above the alcoves are carved the following words: "Pass not these portals, ye foolish mortals."
Huh. I was hoping it was someone they just hadn't had time to label yet, but instead it's just weird.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to pass not those portals.
Yo, is that Stone calling us fools? That's funny.
Rolls
like,
into
yeah.
initiative.
Yeah.
I have been putting up with walls of stone for 4 fucking weeks. All right. The
And
other one you wanted to go to
then
was
the priest.
The high priest.
Prefect Cyril Romulic. All right. That would be right here.
Oh, is that?
Mhm. Okay. As you use your strength to open the stone door, a marble slab in the center of the crypt displays a skeleton draped in red vestments, a golden holy symbol clutched in one bony hand. The domed ceiling 15 feet above is painted to look like a canopy of trees with bright autumn leaves. A narrow stone ledge encircles the crypt 10 feet above the floor. Perched on it are dozens of stone ravens, their eyes fixed on the marble slab. After your time here in Barovia, you do recognize the holy symbol to be that of the Morning Lord. So, a dope ninja star sun looking thing.
Well, at least they were kind enough to give him a tomb.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I want to mess with that sci-fi looking wall thing.
So when you get to here, Tiernan, your Peter Tingle sees inscription that says Tatiana, beloved, on the door to this one.
Well, Darius, I think this might be my stop.
Let me help you with that.
Also worth mentioning, before you go with that one, nope, no, that's fine. All right. So you open the door, and you see her. Her body has been repaired, but with your training in medicine and your high perception, you can see that it must have been torn to pieces by the sharp rocks and everything else. When you left the body, it was not in the best shape, but it has been repaired, cleaned, and she's wearing a white wedding dress, clean and pure. The interior of the crypt is almost stringently clean. There is no dirt, no cobwebs. Everything here is perfect.
I'm concerned that this will be trapped, but I'm not just gonna leave her here either. So maybe step back.
After all this. Alright.
And I'm gonna gently pick her up.
All right. When you go to pick her up, there is not the thrill of her aura touching yours, of your skin touching hers, of the warmth of her body felt through your hands, of the quickened breath of her reaction to your touch. It is a cold, dry thing. So much lighter than you remember. You can smell the faintest scent of death, but it has been masked with perfumed oils and chemicals for preservation.
Right. Let's fetch Mackenzie and get out of here. Thank goodness we're the two strong ones.
It's over there.
Oh, so as you go here, let's see.
It's a blood demon that thought he was a good guy.
Oh no. There's
Redeemed
too much
blood
to,
demon.
too much to delete. You see the door over here, it the plaque reads King Katsuki, Katsuki the Bright, ruler, inventor, and self-proclaimed time traveler. You see this one says Stabal Indibak, a truer friend no ruler ever had. Here lies his family in honor. And then you can't read this one. And then this puzzle blood demon's not actually there.
Alright.
Alright, as you pass this one, it reads Elsa Folana von Twitterberg. Beloved actor. She had many followers. And now that you could read this one, it reads Exanther. His word was power. Right here.
That was that skeleton guy.
Yeah, I've met him. He's definitely not in there.
All right, this one right here says, it says Anastasia Karlova, bride. This one. All right, from there, Tiernan, you see this one over here, and it reads, Tasha Petrovna, healer of kings, light onto the west, servant, companion.
Sounds like another holy person. Another dead holy person.
Here you see it reads Mackenzie Jackson, a distraction.
He kind of just looks at the sign for a moment. Oh, sorry.
No, go for it.
He just looks at the sign for a moment. Yeah. Distraction, but also a motivation to kick y'all's asses. He just tears the sign off and stomps on it.
Her body lies in repose. It has been dressed, cleaned, and dressed in fresh clothes, but not a wedding dress.
Hey, Mac. Good to see you again. He'll pick her up. No Daniel, no Anna, no Shane. What do you think happened to him?
Whatever that light was.
You think it vaporized them? I mean, it did it to all the fucking nasties that were here, but...
I'm somewhat surprised that it happened to Shane, but Daniel was lost in Zrenhala when it happened. Well, you know Anna.
Probably would have ended up like them if I still had that fucking dragon in me. That bastard got lucky.
Well, what happened to him is what I want to happen to the rest of the powers. They don't belong here. It was a mistake whoever first started assembling evil all in one place.
Just waiting for a powder keg to blow off. Speaking of blowing off, this place is still giving me the creeps.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
All right. That would transition things well into a sort of montage, because the castle is massive and still quite dangerous. So I guess the question is, with the remains of your beloveds or your friends or some, weird space in between, what is your goal when you are leaving the castle? Just to get out safely?
Darius is still looking for the Markov kids.
Okay, are you going to refuse to leave the castle until you find the kids?
I would say...
Because that'll definitely impact your epilogue.
Yeah, he has a soft spot for the Markovs because they did him right, so...
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. You alright with this, Tiernan?
Oh, goddamn! I fucking hate that it posts everything.
When you're just trying to read your abilities, yeah.
Yeah. Can I say child.
Let's see. Locate
animal
animal or plants. It
plant.
must have the beast or plant tag.
Exactly. Children are fucking beasts.
They're
No.
feral.
There's an overlap, but they are still classed as humanoid. Also, the Mardikovs would be classed as shapeshifters.
That's true.
Yep.
Can I use animal messenger and then try to send that to one of the Mardukov boys?
What, and try to follow the messenger?
Yeah.
She's a tiny beast you can see within range, such as squirrel, blue jay, or bat.
Yeah, I have to find it first.
Okay. Man or woman dressed in uniform, blah, blah, blah. The target beast travels for the duration of the spell towards a specified location, covering about 50 miles for 24 hours. Seems pretty fast. When the messenger arrives, delivers a message to the creature described. Blah, blah, blah.
Does it have to be those creatures, or can it be a very scared wolf spider that don't want none?
Sure. I will allow this wolf spider to be repurposed for this. So you are looking for. There's Bray and there's Brahm.
I saw Bray get teleported, I think. So we're gonna say Brahm first, because I don't know if Bray's gonna be around.
Okay. The spider would lead you towards these stairs at a pace, because I believe 50 miles in 24 hours is pretty speedy. Almost like supernaturally so. I guess you could put like a leash on it to like slow its movement. Otherwise, it'll definitely outpace you. Characters travel 30 miles a day at a fast pace. This creature would travel 50 miles a day, so it is going pretty quick.
Yeah, I got rope.
All right. You guys follow it to the stairs. You follow it up and up again until you have reached the main floor. I will just do teleports for this. Right. Oh, yeah. Grab the bat. Grab Mackenzie. Get everybody grouped up. Alright. So, delete you guys. Alright, head up to the ground floor. And... let's see... there and there. Okay. So, you guys would appear here. The spider will lead you into the church. The church no longer has the oppressive aura of evil that it had before, but it does sort of have this heavy sort of like weight to it of neglect and decay. All right, the spider paws at this door. As you open it, you see a hallway with, I believe, 14 statues, 7 on each side of the hallway, run in flank across the, north and south walls. Massive double doors are on the western wall opposite of you guys. All right. As you proceed, I'm assuming down this definitely not trapped hallway. It is pawing at the door in front of you now. All right. And as you open the door, You see Bram Mardukov unconscious on the ground. You see gargoyles that seem to be just statues, poised, ready to pounce. And you see an unconscious question mark, or with your incredible perception, a dead Rahadin next to the unconscious Bram Mardukov. The spider goes up and begins to whisper in the boy's ear. He opens his eyes and screams because there's a giant wolf spider right next to his head. He punches the spider in one of its eyes. The spider screams and gets ready to roll into initiative.
Oh, Brom, it's okay. He's with us.
What? Mother, my mother, where? He looks around. He sees Rahadin. He yells again. He jumps on Rahadin. And he just starts punching Rahadin in the face.
Don't worry, Brom. It looks like you took care of him.
The last thing I know, I was going crazy from the screams, from the cries that surround him. I couldn't think straight. I kept hearing my mother. I kept hearing her cry out. They took my brother. Anna did. What happened?
It's all over now. Strahd's dead.
What?
Like, dead.
Despite his sorrow, the loss of his mother, and the trauma that he endured, and his missing brother, he looks at you, Tiernan, and he says, "You did it, you son of a bitch!" And he goes to give you a predator handshake.
I reciprocate.
Then he burst into deep, resonant, blubbery child tears.
And then I just hug him.
Yeah, he's past the point of. I mean, he's going to need a lot of therapy.
Yeah.
Get in line, kid. While that's happening, Darius is gonna take the body of Rahadin and kind of prop him against the pillar.
Okay.
And not seeing him kind of move or anything like that. He still has the kiss from a wolf, and he just kind of slips it into his chest and pulls it out just to make sure.
Yeah. The blood flows freely, but Rahadin does not react.
Worst cab driver ever. Wipes it off of his jeans. I think we saw your brother somewhere.
We'll do the same thing.
Okay.
And as we're leaving, Tiernan's just gonna create bonfire on Rahadin.
Damn. All right. As you attempt the spell a second time, it fails, indicating that the boy is likely dead.
Yeah.
Brom, who has sort of passed out, so you've got Irenia, fireman's carry,
like, flung over one shoulder,
and then you've got Brom, like sad kid carry.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. The spider looks back. It looks at Tiernan. It senses the powers of the Fane, and it just decides it'll just follow you around.
So you're welcome to come along, little one.
Oh, I mean, it ain't little. It's the size of a Great Dane, but.
Oh yeah, it's little human.
Yeah.
Wait till it follows you to the city and sees Shane. Oh shit.
a lot of theories about how insects get to the size that they are in fantasy lands, because they would need like a different oxygen level or whatever, right? A different gravitational thing, otherwise their carapace couldn't support the size, blah 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 blah. But I think Spirit Halloween figured it out. They just have skeletons. Ever seen the spider skeletons at Spirit Halloween? Yeah, that's the real reason they're able to get so big.
All right.
Do you have any other goals?
Now I think we just leave the castle.
All right.
Yeah, I guess as we had been traveling, seeing again if any of the rest of the party was with us, you guys do you inform Darius that Ismark was here at one point? So I guess we don't see him along the way.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I don't think you would have seen Ismark. I think we were all separated from him by the time he showed up in this fight. Gotcha. But yeah, that would have been part of the Phil and Darius in thing. But we also knew he was in that room, and we didn't find any bodies or anything. So.
Yeah. Hopefully he got out. I don't know. Now we have to do a long trek through fucking Barovia.
Alright, so the castle behind you, Bram Martikov rescued, Bray Martikov dead, Anna dead / missing, Daniel dead / missing, Ismark dead / missing, and you guys watched Shane die. I guess the question now is, as you enter your true epilogue scenario, what happens? What is the goal here? We'll start with Darius. What is the goal here? Nothing is binding you to these lands. You could leave if you desired.
Well, first things first, heading back to Crescent. That's gonna be a long trip. Because he intends to plead with the abbot to see what he can do to return Mackenzie back to life, because he feels like even if he's not gonna stay, and if Mac decides to stay, she can at least, help out around Barovia.
Okay, so we'll address that. The abbot informs you that her soul was released from its imprisonment here in the demiplane upon the breaking of the curse. That she has likely, because she led a good and just life, gone to heaven, which is a real place. Would you ask of her to give up heaven for you?
He would not. He would, if the abbot has a strong feeling that Mackenzie would likely be in heaven, then his belief is that his brother Dante is likely there as well. So at least there's someone to keep them company, and maybe some years after some redemption for the shit that I've done here, maybe I'll meet up with them. We'll see.
The abbot smiles at your words and says, it is hard to say. What is the final arbiter of a soul's place beyond the material plane? Deals are made, promises kept and broken, oaths sworn. I believe it is different for each soul. I think for you, Darius King, you will stand the final arbiter of your own soul. Go forth and live a life that you believe would make Mackenzie and your brother proud. A life that would make you proud.
Thank you, Father. This is gonna be a long fucking journey. Sorry. Alright. And I mean, if we're back at Krezk, next order of business for him would be to apologize to Davian Markov and his family. For everything that has happened to them. And to see if they would allow him to join their Order of the Feather.
Yes. Okay.
It was something that he wanted to do before the first time we had gone to the castle for the dinner, and then a whole chain of events kind of prevented that. Because he saw them as a force of good in this horrible land, and he wanted to help out as best he could. This was also probably around the same time that Muriel was still alive, but I guess having learned what happened to her, he at least wants to do right by.
All right. Yeah, you find Davian Martikov and Erwin Martikov, and you return Brahm to them, I'm assuming, if you're here with Kiernan.
Yep.
Because I imagine Brovi is still dangerous, so you probably don't want to travel separately.
Oh, yeah.
All right. He embraces his father. He apologizes over and over and over again for not being strong enough to defend his mother. The man and the boy just hold each other in a sobbing embrace. As they do, Davian musters a bit more stoicism, setting his sorrows aside. He thanks you for not only retrieving the boy, not only for restoring the power of the land, but for the sacrifices that you and your allies made to break the curse and free the lands from Strahd's tyranny. He says that you have more than proven yourself worthy to join this order.
There's still a lot more to do, but thank you. I'll try not to let you down.
Now, it was a few days or more, right, to reach Krezk. During that time, other things transpired. Darius, you see, watching the conversation from nearby, Shane Masters. No longer a wet, rotting corpse. No longer a big titty succubus. Just a very handsome 80s biker dude.
Still pretty.
So I guess orders of events. We had gone to Krezk. Probably the first thing would have been talking to Markov and whatever. And then he kind of sees Shane, and then he would have brought Shane with him to see the abbot about Mackenzie's deal. And I guess while he's kind of there, hey man, I'm not exactly great at these things, but
Hey,
I wanted to
welcome back.
apologize.
Yeah. A lot has happened, obviously, with both of us since we last spoke. Yeah, and I think they had the most awkward bro like shake thing like possible. You know, like I don't think either wants to hug, so it's just like, like, do they pat on the back? Do they clasp with the the elbow? Do they, forearm, hand? Like, it's really awkward. It's like, trying to invent a secret handshake kind of thing. It's just really weird. But
Shay may think it's weird, but Darius does bring him in for an embrace.
Oh, he'll look a little shocked, I think, and then return it. And it's good to see you back.
You too.
Both were lost for a while. And he'll look around and go, Daniel and Anna.
We didn't see them at the castle after everything.
Yeah.
Everything was gone. We thought you were gone too.
Yeah, kind of was, but the abbot and Argynvost felt I had more to do and could do, so I chose to stay here and help rebuild, and make a home. Are you guys staying or?
Hold on, let me actually come with me. Go handle some stuff. And then here would have been a conversation with the abbot. I mean, Darius would have said that, if she's in heaven, then she's in a good place, but he does look to Shane to see what his thoughts are.
No, I wouldn't take that away from anybody. I agree. We'll both see her again, eventually.
Yeah. And then that also kind of flows into the next thing of Darius will kick around here for a while, help with the restoration and rebuilding efforts from everything that has gone down, whether that takes weeks, months, maybe even years.
Cue the 80s Carl Weathers and Sylvester Stallone montage.
Just two men carrying lumber.
Throwing out, yeah.
All right.
But then I think, and this may be years later, he'll ask Davin about if there's anything of happening outside of Barovia.
Barovia would be returned to the prime material world it was taken from, which is a relatively backwater kind of prime material world. Nothing too noteworthy going on there. Kind of like a alternate timeline Greyhawk kind of situation. Very traditional second edition, first edition fantasy. So big Lord of the Rings energy in the world that they came from.
Gotcha.
There is definitely some awkwardness because in the time that Barovia vanished, the area was not settled because the entire region was just a thick fog bank that anyone that went inside disappeared. So the whole place got sanctioned off. So when it returned, it was a great shock to everyone involved, and the greatest minds and wizards of the realm have definitely come seeking answers. And of course, of great interest to them is the Amber Temple.
Yeah, about that. Y'all gonna have to step off for the time being.
So you and Davian in the Order and Shane and the Abbot are going to advocate that the locals respect the borders of Barovia as they rebuild / stay the fuck away from our Amber Temple? Is that the stance? Okay.
Yeah.
We invent the State Department.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
But
These foreign dignitaries and powerful wizrobes do want to know then who speaks for these lands that were lost and then returned. Who is the lord, the king, the queen, the regent? Who rules these lands?
we're working on that.
yeah. I think each of us would advocate for somebody else. So I think
Yeah.
that's funny.
So obviously, outside the scope of this campaign, such news would, of course, inspire, right, organizations of a more evil intent to try and claim these lands for themselves, and then goodly kingdoms to try and defend these lands while they readjust to their return from the nightmare realm of the Shadowfell, which would then spawn the second edition campaign setting, Birthright, wherein kingdoms and armies fight back and forth and all that kind of stuff, which would then spawn the Pathfinder version of Birthright, Kingmaker, and thus history is made. All the OGs, you guys remember that Birthright, you know what I'm saying? I don't think any of us actually were able to run or play Birthright, but you remember, you probably even owned it because you thought you were going to run it, and then you were like, what the fuck is this? Because it was a lot. But yeah, that's generally what would happen is with this realm returning after 1,000 years, question mark, the world is like, what the hell happened? Like, and then, wizards are just scientists, and scientists can't leave well enough alone. So there is definitely going to be a lot that needs to be managed and dealt with.
Well, I guess there's a new guardian to oversee those who are encroaching onto the lands of Barovia now. Lady Walker, go back to your house.
All right, so we're gonna leave off.
I guess the very last thing was that Darius would kind of ask if anyone has heard about a certain Dracolich that may have been traversing the plains with all these wizrobes, if they've heard any rumblings.
In exchange for favors and service and things like that, you could eventually get someone to successfully scry this creature, this Tarachamedes. He is apparently a powerful investment banker and tech startup mogul in a world called Earth in the city of Seattle.
That's fucking surprising. Okay.
He's making huge gains in the AI industry. Because what better way to collect all knowledge as quickly as possible?
Oh, yeah.
And hoard it for yourself.
Well, I guess
That's all he's ever wanted.
I guess he's keeping himself busy then. Yeah, that's it for Darius.
All right, Tianen, you guys invited company over, and they're waiting eagerly to join you. So what?
So yeah, first thing is similarly see about
Mr.
Irene.
Angel, can you bring my friend back to life?
Yeah.
All right. Mr. Angel informs you. He says, Tiernan Beckett, throughout your life you have made sacrifice of yourself, of your body, of your mind, and of your spirit for others. It is good work that you do. In that way, Irenia Kolyana was no different. She was a soul made to be martyred. She lived for others and died for others. What happened to her spirit? It was unfair, a tragedy. She She had an opportunity to break the cycle, to escape these lands, to leave with her truest love, her soul-bonded partner, Sergei, for the realms of light and the comforts of heaven. But her love of these lands, of her brother, of her father, and of you, kept her here. As it does even now. Her spirit walks beside you. A ghostly phantom, unable to let go. It is within my power to force her to take the next step. It is within my ability to help you convince her that her work is done. But it is also within my power to offer her a choice.
I don't want to force anything on anyone. I want her to choose.
All right. He turns and he looks at someone that you cannot see. But now that it's been pointed out, you can feel the presence. You can smell the stink of unwashed lady. And you can feel the nervous energy that she would always give off in life. And he says, Irina Kolyana, a soul that has been many souls, a woman, a man, a spirit that has been many lives. None of them fair. Would you... all right. She says she wants to come back to life. And he kind of, his eyes start glowing. Wah! And I mean, have you been holding her body this whole conversation, or did you set her down delicately? Or
Set her down after we arrived.
Okay. All right. You hear a gasp, a cough, a long dry fart. You look around, and you see that she has sat up. She looks over at you. Her skin pale, her eyes sunken. Her makeup very like photo shoot for wedding magazine. And she, with a dry throat, tries to speak and can't. She tries to stumble to her feet, but her body is still recovering from, the resurrection, and she staggers, falls forward.
I'll catch her and then help her stand up and say maybe just take it slow for a little bit. I know you're not great at that, but
It's hard to speak through the dry, sloppy kisses that she starts giving you. Over the next hour or so, she is nursed back to health with warm broth, warm wine, and small pieces of soft bread. And as she listens to what happened after her death, she cries. She is filled with remorse. She laughs. She cries again. And as you finish the tale, you can see a burden of 100 lifetimes lift from her shoulders. And she turns to you and says, Tiernan, I love you.
I love you too.
The abbot seems satisfied, and he turns to leave. Irenia looks down at her attire and says, "Hold on, I have a request. I'm already dressed for it, so you got the wedding ritual in you?" And she gives you a wolfish grin, Tiernan.
I hold up my hand that has the ring on it from shit, what was his name?
Tom?
From what?
Was it Tom? That was
No,
your
from Daniel's park ranger character.
Yeah, that was Tom.
No, Thomas.
Tom? Oh, I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Thomas.
Oh yeah, Tom. Okay, yeah, Tom. So yeah, and then I was like, I've got the rings ready.
All right. Yeah, in a small private ceremony, with just you, Vasilka, Irenia, and the abbot, you guys are officially wed by the power vested in him by the Morning Lord. And then she side-eyes the abbot and says, at last I can lose my maidenhood.
Dude, and cough laughs.
For I have led a virtuous life. Yep. All right, and you guys are married. Anything else?
No.
Oh, okay.
Other than basically becoming Brahm's uncle, that's.
Oh yeah, for sure. Brahm begins his training arc. Never again will a person he cares about fall because he is not strong enough to protect them. He goes and he buys all the A5E books and Vault of Spire Secrets. He builds the most broken defense-based character ever. Bamboozles this DM into letting him run it, and is just a fucking powerhouse in his campaign.
Comes the ultimate munchkin.
But Munchkin for goodness, Munchkin for goodness. Which makes it hard for anybody to say that, he should stop, because he's such a bro. He's such a bro that even though he outshines all the other player characters, they don't want anything bad to happen to him. So. Oh. All right. Where do you guys settle? Do you settle in Krezk, or do you try to make a run of it back in the village of Barovia? I mean, Irenia would like to try and save what's left of the village of Barovia if you're down.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. All right. And then she builds a statue of Eastmark that looks fucking badass. Looks like a World of Warcraft prop in the center of the town. And then the town sort of builds and reconstructs around that new central square.
So does Tiernan rebuild the village of Barovia, Shane is rebuilding Krezk, and then Darius eventually moves to Valakai, and each of us takes over a city.
I mean, that would be pretty good. Valakai is otherwise she's gonna hold on to it, Lady Wagner gonna hold on to it.
I think during the rebuilding tour, Darius does stop by Valakai and be like, yeah, he's no longer around. You're gonna have to stop all that.
All right, ever a political beast. She is willing to tone down on the lawful evil if she can remain in power. She explains to you the messy business of rulership, but she would definitely consider it an advisement council elected by the people.
Yeah, that's probably for the best.
Right. Beautiful. And so, yeah, do those who have fallen have anything they would like to add? You got any parting words? Any hopes for the future? Any advice from beyond the grave? Daniel?
Not really. I did kind of have some like last moments for Daniel, but so we are running a little late.
No, that's okay. Like, go for it. This is your guys' game. We just invited the dudes to hang out. That's fine.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah. What do you got for us?
Yeah, kind of a last moments and a sign off. So back in the castle, you know, the moment that Tiernan Beckett, you know, plunges the blood spear through Strahd von Zarovich, a ripple emanates through the air. And Zrinhala, the Howling Storm, knows that his agreement with the Walking Dead, with these pitiful mortals, is fulfilled, and there's no reason for him to linger. Which is good, because he has plans for Daniel. Daniel, this pathetic shell of a man, was no good for anything except for that weird twist of psychic power that some mad god gave his family. Every time, you know, Daniel bamfed across the border ethereal, Sparky went along for the ride, engaging, poking, prodding, and he knew that with enough power, he could force Daniel on one last ride and pierce the mist.
Shit! Okay, love it. Keep going.
Yep.
Keep going.
If he
Sorry.
survived,
Keep going.
if he had survived, he would have spent 6 days tearing him apart, and it would have been like Tunguska across the countryside. But yeah, that was his plan. But then the light from the crypt started to emanate and pulse. And Sparky, he just looks at it and he goes, no. And he knows he has no choice but to flee. He doesn't have the power, but maybe Daniel's got one last ride in him, one last attempt to get out of the castle. He'd be stuck here, but he would endure. And so he goes to try and get, you know, a good wide space, you know, out of the crypts. But Daniel, he knows the job is done. At least everyone else is safe now. And he's resigned to receive the punishment that he knows he ultimately deserves. Until Zrinhala passes by the body of Anne of Barovia. He sees her mutilated corpse, her dismembered head thrown absently into a corner, staring right at him. And it's one more death on his hands that he can't take anymore. So he reaches deep. Because unlike Darius, who was trapped in a dream state, Daniel's been he's been aware of everything. That's part of the oppression that Zrinhala, you know, has been using to control him. But Daniel says no more. So he reaches deep and succeeds at the ultimate cost. And you know, his bony skeleton starts reaching out of Zrinhala. But it is so much. His bones splinter and crack as he attempts to claw out. And for just a moment, there is a tug of war. A tug of war Daniel knows he can't win. But he doesn't have to. All he has to do is delay for just that one moment. And as that final wave of light washes over Sparky, Daniel says to him, "You should have let me go when you had the chance. I warned you once. Now you have to deal with me, bitch." And the light washes over both of them, and they're gone.
Nice. I love that. All right. Anna, do you have any final?
Man, I gotta follow that.
Well, I mean,
would like.
frequently people have to follow you and Anna, so I mean, you know, you got this.
I didn't come up with anything. So Anna's. We're gonna leave it as a very open book.
Sure.
She's somewhere. She stole everything in this campaign. Took a body, took a claim to the throne. She stole all your hearts. I know she did. And I think she needs to go on and do something else. That's all I'm going to say.
All right. Beautiful. So, with that, you guys have completed Curse of Strahd, the most iconic and I dare say difficult official 5th edition adventure. And then I made sure to make it the most difficult it could possibly be. I got tired of making people died cards. This is probably like half of the amount of death cards that we should probably have here. Just piles of them. It was certainly a journey of attrition. All right, I'm gonna go ping your Nightfall brethren